Oh, Brian. Okay, so this is the next part of S9, which we labeled yesterday or 2 days ago, but we didn't color yet. Okay, so we're gonna do that next. Shouldn't take too long, and then I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna give you the stars or the content of the page to star for testing purposes, right? Um, so if you weren't here a couple days ago and you didn't have this, get this sheet, you may want to check the back table to see if it's there. If not, I can get you a copy of it, um, and then you can color it at a later time. Okay, so this is how it should be colored. Okay, so A is the ilium. So we're going to color A. Like so. So before I go any further with the coloring, the one half of the pelvis is sectioned off into three separate bones. So what we're going to do is I'm going to we're going to just draw a line that indicates where the border of the bone is. So we're going to start the line about right there. I think you guys can see the cross. There a cross up there. So we're going to start it about right here. Get black. So I'll make my line red for you so it pops a little bit more. But you can make your line whatever you prefer. So this just indicates the border, okay, between where the two bones stop, where the two bones join. And then I'll go back to my coloring and I'll just continue to color the same color. But when you color it, you're going to color it just up until your line. I'm going to color it up until my red line. On the coloring for mine, if I pull off of if I let go of the tab and then I start coloring again, it will change to a little bit of a different color if there's any overlap. So it doesn't mean anything on mine. Just it's just the same bone. That's just what the technology does. All right. So this is A is ilium. So I think what'll probably be easier if I do C next, just for practical purposes on showing you the right order so it's not confusing. And so what I'll also do is I'll outline. I think that this is freehand. I'll outline the bone, do it in black. So here is, you don't have to do this, just for me to show you where the bone is. That, and then here. And then obviously it travels around. That's pretty easy for you all to see what that looks like. And then here, hold on. Okay, so that's what that's outlined. Let's see. So let me change. Let's do C first. Let's do C first. So we'll go down to C. C is a pubis or pubic bone. And then we can make that blue. This is also a part of the pubic bone. All right, so we'll do C first. This is C. And then we need to mark the border. Between B and C here, because it's not really indicated on your sheet. So, oops. Okay, I need to make it red, right? So here is the other border. So then I continue my markup in blue. All the way to the red line. And so that is C. So that would be the pubis or pubic bone. And then now that we have the borders marked correctly, we'll do the ischium. So here is also a part of the ischium here. And then obviously it's there. So then we'll mark it, let's go green. I would on here also, which probably is a little easier for you, is to where this line is, to just draw a line and then like make it an arrow. It doesn't, it might not come out very, the line might not come out very clear for you. It's a little light. So I would just make it more pronounced and just so that you can, it indicates to you where the actual bone is. A's a little bit, A's okay, because it's right in the middle. But if you want, you can make this A bigger and more pronounced. That entire bone is A. So that's A, B, C. And then let me give you D. So D, you're not going to color necessarily because it will confuse you. I think if you colored it something different, um, I would just make it uh, more bolded or pronounced also. And then, create your arrow. Okay, so I will say to you that D, let me just outline this. Jaden, could you come? Um, I will just say to you that if I make this a different colored line, let's see, maybe we can just do it yellow. This is this is D, okay? Okay, so that's your D. Um, it's not colored, but if I don't know, if I were to identify what D is, I'd probably put like a rectangle with that color. E is the space. So I don't technically ever color E because I want it to be identified not as a bone. I don't want you to be confused. This is not a bone, okay? This is actually a space in between the bone or in between the bones. Um, this space is for nerves and blood vessels and so forth to travel through. So E is as we wrote in here before. This is a space, so you don't have to necessarily color that. And then F is the sacrum, and so F is we'll make it a different color, which we can go yellow. I think that will show up okay. So this entire uh, segment is the sacrum. And then I'm just gonna make this a little bolder for you. And then we just put an arrow there indicating that that is what that is. So F is we mark it up also as that. And then G you can't see on this picture. G is on the posterior side. Um, and so G is the coccyx. And then let me just give you a drawing here. And then maybe I'll make this purple. So for mine, it's going to be purple. And then I will just highlight it. And then you can do what you want with this on the G or bolding the letter. Come out very big for me for whatever reason. So the G is a little bit bigger, so we'll just keep it there, and maybe we can mark it with an arrow as well. Again, kind of small, but let's do it like this. Okay, so that's G. Um, Let me give you a couple of definitions here. Anterior. So anterior equals in front of. This might be something we've covered already, but if not, just so you know, in front of. And then posterior means in the back of. So let me give you some landmarks to identify. You're going to have to know. So all the letters, yes, right? So let's just star. Let's just star the letters. So yes, A, B, C, D, E, F, and G, You definitely have to know, right? And then let me give you the numbers that you're going to have to be able to identify. So one, and I'll number it for you as well. Okay, so one, yes, for sure. And then here's where that is. Okay, here's your one. And then they're on both sides. Okay, so just because it says one on one doesn't mean it's not on the other. It's they the numbers and letters mirror each other really on each side. So one, and then let's give you the arrows. Okay, so one. Okay, is the entire one is the entire rim. So that's one. And then it's also here. Okay, five is another one. And you can see five is here. And it's also here on both sides. Um, it's really kind of, let's do this real quick. Show you how blue works. Five is like this area. All right, so that's five. I don't know how you identify that. Maybe you circle it around the five or whatever. Whatever is easier for you to identify that. Basically, it's the pointy part of the front of your hips on both sides. Okay, you put your hands on your hips and you fill it with your fingertips, both sides. That's five. Okay, seven should also be starred, and seven is on the back. Okay, so you're not going to see seven on the front. Seven is on the posterior aspect. So here is your seven. And again, it's on both sides. So if just to make it simple, and so you can see it, it's both right here. Mhm. And then also is 10 needs to be starred. Oh yeah, you can see 10 here. So here's 10. And then your arrow. That's 10. And it also is on the back. It's more prominent on the back. And we can also uh, circle that area. It's a pretty large area. So it's like it's like probably even bigger than that, but we'll just keep it there. And I won't circle that there. I'll just leave it. But so that's ischial tuberosity. And then the pubic symphysis you need to know. So we need to start 14. And then the 14 is in the front. So here's your 14. And it has a little line showing you where it's at, but let me just create that for you here. So this is 14. So that's 14. This entire, see if we can make a rectangle that's somewhat not like a box. Yeah, so this is, so that's 14. Let me do this instead, actually. All right, so that's 14. And then let's see. Let me do this real quick. Let me go over here. You have to number these. So this is 10 on this side also. And then also on this side is E. This is also E. And then this is also B. Mhm. And then this is also 1 on both sides. And then you also have 10 here on this side. And then you also have 7. We got that. Let me just make sure we covered everything. 10 on both sides. 7 on both sides. Oh, B on both sides. Then 5 on both sides. 1 on both sides. And then we have A, B, C. Make sure we put that down. C on both sides here. D on both sides. And then A on both sides. Here's an A here. looks like we covered everything. Just I'm pretty particular about this, so let's just do this real quick. E, A, we have 1, 10, 7, B. Looks like everything's covered here symmetrically. Okay, so A1, so everything that should be starred, A should be starred, 1 should be starred, 5 should be starred, 7 should be starred, 10 should be starred, 14 should be starred, B should be starred, C should be starred, D, E, and F and G. Last little thing here is these stars are bones and bony landmarks. So if it's not a bone, it's considered a bony landmark. Normally, the bony landmarks are where muscles attach. A lot, most often, not all, but a lot of them are where muscles attach. So here's what you'll do for the last part of the class is whatever you did on this side, you're going to replicate color-wise on this side, just on the top. The bottom does not need to be colored. The bottom's complete. So the top, just again, replicate the colors. We've already labeled and numbered them. Just replicate the colors, and even do the borders, right? The red borders I did, the yellow borders that I did, just replicate it so it looks exactly like this side.